G'day kiddies, it's your Uncle Jojo here. Great to see you all again. Today I've been asked a question by Shani. G'day Shani, thanks for your inquiry. Shani's asked me about the different types of floor finishes that we can put onto timber floors. With so many different types of floors that we can get these days, from solid floors to engineered floors to floating floors, and then the differences in our finishes. So today, Shani, I've got a treat just for you. What I've got is a floor that we're actually going to do a tint on, and a few different samples of what else we can do with different floors. The floor that we've laid here is a solid floor, which is called an overlay floor. So an overlay floor is a solid board, and if you can see here, it's 14 millimeters thick and it's complete timber. There's no ply in this or anything else. This is just a solid piece of timber. Solid timber overlay floors are definitely my favourite. It's definitely my preference. Few resources go into it, which means less energy, which means less wasted other resources that go into production. And that way helps or reduces carbon that gets released into the atmosphere. So just on a side note, by choosing your materials and your products carefully, you can help reduce the overuse of pollutants into our atmosphere. So here what I've got is a board that I've done 3 coats. It's the same product. Here I've got the first coat, and that's just 1 coat. Next, this is the second coat, so that's 2 coats. And then here I've got 3 coats. So you can see that they blend, so it goes from light to a little bit darker, and they all blend in really well. This floor is actually to go with this colour here. Reason being because we're trying to suit as many of the different types of cabinetry fixtures and panelling as we can. So this type of finish is actually a lime wash, and there's several different types of lime washes that we can use. This is a Feast & Watson product. It's a new product that's out on the market. I've used it now, this is the 3rd time, and you can tint it different ways to suit different colours. It's a very good product, but you need to be extremely careful putting it on. I'd strongly recommend at any stage of any project to always use professionals that are proficient in what they do and they know how to apply things like this. The next thing I've got for you is, now this is the timber that we've got for this floor throughout the whole place. This is called a chestnut, an Australian chestnut. It's very different from the English chestnut. It's an ash, a mountain ash of some sort. You can tell by the grains, but it's very dense and hard. Now, that's the colour of the floor before we changed with the lime wash. But the owners actually wanted something really dark at the very beginning. The problem with dark tints is it actually sucks a lot of the light out from the room, and then the room itself becomes quite dark. The owners had seen what was called a black Japan floor. So what I've done is I've got 2 samples. One's black Japan half strength and the other one is black Japan full strength. That wasn't the colour that they were asking for, because that's kind of gone to a brown, not so much of a black. Whereas at the top here, you can see, the top here is more of a black and it's more of what they were after. But again, as I said, if you go for a black timber floor throughout, what ends up happening is the light, the black, whatever colour we use, that sucks in the colour or it bounces the colour. So if we go for a light colour, it'll help lighten up a room. If we go for a dark colour, what ends up happening is the room becomes dark because the light will be sucked in by that dark. These are stains. This board here is a stain board. So what we actually have to do is we have to hand stain the whole floor first, and then we give it a light buff, and then we give it a coat, 3 coats straight over the top with a 2-pack or polyurethane finish. This here is a lime wash. So the lime wash goes on, and then we put just 1 coat of polyurethane or a 2-pack over the top. Depending the type of finish you're going for, you can see here, the stain actually seeps right into the grain of the timber all the way through. That doesn't happen with this. This just sits on top because this is a sealer. It's not actually in a penetrative order. So when we Whether you do a stain for your floor or you do stain for your furniture, the stain actually absorbs into your grain, very similar to an oil. Whereas with a lime wash or a sealer, it just sits on the surface. So Shani, I hope that helps you out today. That's just a few different types of products that we can use on a floor. If you want to have a look at the Feast & Watson product guide, they've got a few lime wash solutions and tints that you can use. I think there's 9 all up, if memory serves me correct. And you can get something that starts from a white down to quite a dark grey or a grey tinge. Otherwise, you go for a stain. Stains can be pretty dark. You can change the stain around, you can have it a little bit lighter. But if you're going to go for a lighter one, then I'd suggest not to even use a stain, then to just get a timber product, like a timber board, that already has that kind of grain that you're looking for. That's my helpful handy hint for today. If you've got any questions or queries about that, please send them through. And until I speak to you next time, stay awesome and thanks for watching.